Very often when we think about cognition, when we try to understand the complexity of thinking, we tend to separate ideas. We tend to compartmentalize concepts. However, in reality, all of these concepts are working together. For example, when in with Bloom's taxonomy, we tend to separate things and we categorize them according to hierarchy, making remembering the lowest order of thinking and creating as a higher order of thinking. But it doesn't work that way. Just for example, when you remember, you understand. When you apply, when you remember, you apply also. When you remember, you analyze things. When you remember, you evaluate. When you remember, there's some kind of recreation in your mind, recreating something, some concepts. For example, when you're applying, you remember. In applying, you understand. In applying, you analyze, so on and so forth. On the other hand, also, you cannot create something without going through all this process. You cannot come up with a creative thing without being able to evaluate, being able to analyze, without being able to remember. Therefore, when you start to look at the concepts, when you start to look at the perspectives, let us look at it in a more holistic way, serving one purpose, that is to nurture the brain, sensor, and memory. How does Bloom's taxonomy happen? How does remembering happen? How does understanding happen? How does applying happen? How does analyzing happen? How does evaluating happen? How does creating happen? Isn't it the bottom line of all these concepts is only about stimulating your brain, sensor, and memory, creating activities that helps the mind process through the brain, sensor, and memory. And the last thing is creating a program for your brain, sensor, and memory.